Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care. The hum of the spacecraft enveloped Tom like an old friend as he skillfully navigated the cockpit, his hands deftly adjusting the array of controls before him. Anticipation coursed through his veins, electrifying him. This mission was unlike any he had ever embarked upon. It was a daring exploration of uncharted territory that promised encounters with the utterly extraordinary. The thrill of discovery electrified the air around him, creating a palpable vibration that resonated deep within his soul, both exhilarating and terrifying. Excitement bubbled within him, even as a lingering thread of anxiety twisted like a snake coiling in his stomach, threatening to overshadow his enthusiasm. He gazed out at the sweeping expanse of stars, each point of light shimmering like a distant promise of adventure, beckoning him to explore their hidden secrets. With a deep and steadying breath, he pushed aside that nagging feeling, choosing instead to embrace the familiar hum of the ship and the allure of the unknown that awaited him. Suddenly, tranquility shattered like fragile glass. Alarms erupted with a cacophony of blaring warnings that pierced through his emotional cocoon like an electric shock. The ship shuddered violently, rattling around him. "What the hell is happening?" Tom exclaimed, panic quickly clawing at his composure as he fought to regain control. The alarming lights danced erratically on the dashboard, each one a fiery warning, throwing his senses into disarray. The vessel began to spiral, wild turbulence rattling the craft like a toy lost in a furious tempest. His heart raced, fear gripping him like a vice as he struggled against the controls. The weight of impending doom loomed ever closer, a dark shadow that threatened to swallow him. Just when he caught a glimmer of equilibrium, another jolt sent him careening toward the cockpit window. With every violent shake, his heart pounded harder, each beat echoing like a war drum, a harbinger of fate and regret. Hold together, he urged the ship, desperation threading through his voice as if it could somehow hear his pleas for survival. Just as control seemed within reach, the ship lurched yet again, and Tom felt his stomach plummet, the cold surface rising up to meet him in a horrifying embrace. With a bone-rattling crash, the vessel collided with the alien planet below. Darkness engulfed him immediately, washing over him like an inky wave, the world fading into an abyss filled with confusion and pain. Meanwhile, Captain Sandra was meticulously conducting a reconnaissance mission on her homeland, deftly piloting her sleek starcraft high above the sprawling landscape. The vibrant environment stretched below her like a kaleidoscope of colors, an intricate mosaic of life pulsating with energy and vibrancy that reminded her of her own spirit. Suddenly, a flurry of alerts blared from her control panel, ripping her from her reverie, the intensity jolting her focus. She quickly turned her gaze toward the horizon, and her alert eyes sharpened upon spotting the ominous billowing smoke rising from a crash site. An instinctive impulse surged through her veins, compelling her to investigate further. Diverting her course, she felt a potent combination of urgency and curiosity entwine within her, igniting her determination like kindling in a fire. As she expertly landed her craft, she stepped outside, the air tinged with the thrill of adventure but saturated with the uncertainty of what awaited her. Sandra navigated through the wreckage fearlessly, anxiety gripping her heart with each step. Memories of her past failures loomed large in her thoughts, tempting her to retreat, but the thought of a life lost ignited an unyielding resolve within her. As she searched the twisted metal and debris, she found him. Tom, unconscious yet very much alive, a striking presence amidst the ruins. Relief surged through her, mingled with an unidentifiable pull, an elusive thread intertwining their fates. With gentle hands, she shook him awake, her soothing voice accompanying the healing elixir held cautiously at the ready. "You're safe now. Just breathe," she whispered, her words floating like a balm over his confusion. As his eyes fluttered open and they finally met, a jolt of something powerful passed through her, igniting a spark neither could deny. He was ruggedly handsome, his features coalescing into a portrait of vulnerability. Where am I?" Tom slurred, confusion evident as he struggled to make sense of his surroundings, his mind clouded with the remnants of sleep. Safe, Sandra replied firmly, her voice steady yet infused with warmth, the essence of a calming anchor amidst the maelstrom of emotions swirling around him. Safe? Tom tried to sit up, panic flooding back over him again as he surveyed his surroundings. The alien landscape sprawled out in sprawling greens and vibrant hues beyond the wreckage. What happened? I'm Captain Sandra of the Sithra, she introduced herself, her stature commanding yet nurturing as she stood before him. Your ship crashed. I found you. His heart raced even faster at her words, a mix of gratitude and suspicion flooding his mind. Why do you care about me? He asked, half incredulous at the very thought of an alien captain being genuinely concerned for him. Sandra regarded him with a piercing intensity, her brow furrowing in deep contemplation. Because you are not of this world. You are vulnerable, she answered slowly, her voice laced with an uncharacteristic softness. A strange look flickered across her face, a blend of compassion and an undeniable allure that sent an unexpected shiver down his spine. As he struggled to regain his composure, humorous interactions began to blossom between them, their conversations filled with playful jabs that often fell flat due to the language barrier. Sandra's speech was painted with unique expressions, evoking laughter from both parties as they attempted to bridge the vast chasm between their worlds. Days melded into one another as Sandra devoted herself to nursing him back to health. Her fierce dedication revealed deeper layers of her character, a complexity that made him more intrigued. With each passing hour, they navigated the intricacies of their different cultures together. Sandra demonstrated fascinating aspects of her world, unveiling knowledge like treasures, while he eagerly shared tales of Earth, painting vivid pictures with his animated words. One clear morning they ventured away from the wreckage, feeling the gentle caress of the wind against their faces as they encountered the iridescent vistas stretching for miles. Soon Tom marveled at the intricacies of the flora that surrounded them. These plants seemed to vibrate with life, he exclaimed, astonished by the glowing flora that emerged and glimmered in the rising sun. They reflect the energy of our world, just as we reflect on each other, Sandra replied, her eyes glinting with an understanding that piqued his interest further. She gazed at him with a complexity that fostered warmth in his cheeks. A moment crackled with tension as uncertain emotions ricocheted within them. Days turned into nights filled with laughter and shared vulnerability. Sandra gradually unveiled fragments of her past, her struggles as a leader, the sacrifices she had made for her people, and the ever-present fears of failing them that lingered in her heart. It feels heavy, she admitted one evening, her expressive eyes shimmering with unshed tears. Every choice I make could affect them all, but then I met you. Her voice trailed off, leaving a strong silence resonating between them, full of unsaid words. Tom's heart ached at her honesty. You're stronger than you know, Sandra. The weight you carry makes you vulnerable, but it's your compassion that gives you strength, he offered, emotion clinging to his voice as he revealed his admiration. Under the stars, they moved closer, feeling the warmth radiating between them as a quiet connection deepened, silently urging them forward. Sandra hesitated before leaning in, brushing her lips against his, igniting warmth deeper than anything they had previously shared. The kiss deepened, and in that moment, everything else faded into the background, leaving only the two of them and the possibility of what lay ahead. As the weeks rolled on, steady recovery molded Tom, refining him into a braver version of himself, capturing both strength and vulnerability stitched into his spirit. The connection between him and Sandra had grown into a bond deeper than mere survival, a dynamic partnership that entwined their destinies in thrilling and unpredictable ways. One sun-soaked afternoon, they traversed through canyons filled with colorful alien flora, each blossom symbolizing a unique essence of the world around them. Sandra stopped every few meters, instructing Tom about the healing properties embedded in every petal and root, her passion for her world shining fluorescently. Touch the flowers gently. They thrive on tenderness, she instructed, her brow furrowing in concentration as she demonstrated the delicate art of interaction with the vibrant life surrounding them. Hesitantly, he followed suit, heart racing as their proximity heightened the pulse of their shared connection, causing butterflies to dance wildly in his stomach. Their playful banter turned serious as Sandra guided him deeper into the enchanting scenery. With every passing touch, reverberations coursed through them, each sigh weaving a tapestry of magic that connected the two. "You are a quick learner. It is as if you belong here," she said, the admiration in her voice flooding him with warmth and light. "I think I'm still learning about you," he replied, their gazes locking as his heart raced faster. "You're extraordinary, Sandra. It's hard not to be drawn to you." Days shifted into a seamless routine filled with evenings of exploration, laughter, and dreams spun into vibrant narratives. Sandra began to unearth stories from her past, her struggles as a leader, the sacrifices she had made for her people, and the relentless fears of failing them that weighed heavily on her heart. "It feels heavy," she admitted one evening, her expressive eyes shimmering with unshed tears, reflecting the moonlight like stars. "Every choice I make could affect them. It is a burden I carry. But then I met you." Her voice trailed off, leaving a strong silence resonating between them, thick with emotion. Tom's heart ached at her honesty, his own vulnerabilities lurking beneath the surface. "You're stronger than you know, Sandra. The weight you carry makes you vulnerable, but it's your compassion that gives you incredible strength," he offered, emotion clinging to his voice, revealing his admiration for her fierce spirit. Tom often found himself mesmerized by Sandra's unwavering strength and the playful spirit buried within her. One starry night, they perched beside each other near a river that glimmered under the soft light of the moon. "I always wanted to see what lay beyond the dark space. The stars are mesmerizing. I never imagined I'd discover this," he mused quietly, glancing at her in awe, emotion spilling from his heart with sincerity. Sandra turned to him, and for a moment the world around them faded into a gentle hush. "What do you see in the stars?" she asked, her voice low and entrancing, each syllable reverberating against the night sky. "Endless possibilities," he breathed softly, considering the vastness before them. "And now I see you." Before they realized it, the moment surged with electricity as their lips met, a tentative brush that quickly ignited into passionate exploration, filled with years of longing. The world around them draped itself in shadows, leaving only the magic they created together under the celestial tapestry above. With dawn breaking and bathing the world in golden light, Sandra decided it was time for Tom to witness the true heart of her remarkable world. "Today you'll see beyond this grove," she proclaimed, excitement shining in her eyes like the sun peeking through clouds, beckoning him to follow closely. As they ventured forth, leaving the safety of their hidden refuge, the vibrant scenery unfolded like a living tapestry. Tom's breath caught in his throat at the sight unfurling before him. The world pulsated with life like a heartbeat he had never encountered. Strange flora glimmered in gallant shades he had never fathomed. They seemed almost to hum in response to their footsteps, reverberating with a life of their own. "This is the Valley of Whispers," Sandra explained, her voice tinged with reverence and wonder. "Every bloom embodies a story of our ancestors." She led him through the vibrant fields, a symphony of color and sound surrounding them, an orchestra of existence. "It's breathtaking," Tom breathed, enchanted by the way the glowing flowers seemed to ripple in rhythm with the soft wind, like they were celebrating life itself. They spent hours exploring the cascading waterfalls that tumbled over shimmering rocks, the air filled with playful laughter, letting the burden of their pasts drop away like petals in an autumn breeze. Sandra splashed him lightly, her laughter echoing, a melody amidst the enchanting sounds of nature woven together by their joyful connection. Motivated by her vivacity and animated spirit, Tom retaliated, playfully dousing her until they both erupted in fits of pure elation, their spirits soaring higher than the tallest trees surrounding them. As the sun dipped beneath the horizon, painting the sky in vibrant hues of purple and orange, they halted along the banks of a sparkling river that mirrored the celestial tapestry overhead. "We can swim here," Sandra said, her teasing smile lighting up her face, illuminating the shadows of their uncertainties. "Is that safe?" Tom countered, raising a brow playfully, struggling to mask his excitement. "Only if you can swim, Earthling," she challenged, laughter spilling carelessly from her lips, intertwining with joyful energy in the air. They dove into the cool water, splashing and wrestling playfully, each ripple igniting passion as they reveled in the moment. Joy, laughter, and connection blending seamlessly into each heartbeat. Now, fully encouraged by the joy that centuries of struggles had masked, they explored one another in candid delight. Later, as dusk wrapped its gentle embrace around them, they ventured to the sacred ancient ruins, a testament to Sandra's lineage and strength. "This is where we commune with the spirits," she explained, her tone now serious, almost reverent as her eyes scanned the majestic stones adorned with the memories of her ancestors. Surrounded by remnants of a civilization long past, she glanced up to meet Tom's gaze, a connection wrought from years of history swirling in the air. "This place holds memories. It's sacred." There was an unmistakable moment of electricity that crackled, a palpable energy that hung between them, urging them closer, swirling them into a deeper understanding. As twilight fully descended, the glow of bioluminescent plants surrounded them, cascading in vibrant colors that mirrored their burgeoning feelings. It was under this ethereal glow that they shared not just another kiss, but one filled with profound yearning, a passion ignited by the promise of new beginnings and dreams yet to be explored, the world fading away around them. Time ceased to matter as they dissolved into one another, everything outside of their embrace dimming into darkness, leaving them suspended in the warmth of their newfound intimacy, lost in a new world together. Euphoria shifted alarmingly into anxiety a few days later when trouble loomed ominously on the horizon. Whispers of the Marauder faction rippled through the air like a chilling breeze, threatening their fragile peace and igniting a fire of urgency within Sandra's heart. Fear crept into every fiber of her being, mingling with memories of past losses, endangering everything she had fought to protect. "We must prepare ourselves," she stated, urgency coloring her voice as she sought Tom by her side, determined not to falter. "The Marauders are positioning themselves to attack, and we can't allow them to disrupt what we've created here." "What can I do?" Tom replied, adrenaline coursing through him as his resolve bloomed like a flower facing the sun. He didn't want to sit idly by. He felt a brave urgency rising within him. This world had become his lifeblood, and the love he felt for Sandra anchored him to something far greater than a mere mission. Sandra's eyes gleamed with a mix of gratitude and apprehension. "Your skills may be what we need to survive this. I'll teach you how to fight and survive." Their days quickly filled with training sessions, Sandra imbuing her knowledge into him while he shared his survival techniques from Earth, weaving them into their shared destiny. As they trained, Sandra revealed nuances of her combat style, fierce but graceful like a flowing river. "Your life and those of my people depend on not just your skills, but your heart. Hold nothing back," she advised, her voice strong and unwavering, the foundation of her resolve building a bond between them. Days elapsed in a flurry of preparations, sweat-soaked practice, strategizing, enduring long hours of hard work that wore them down physically and emotionally. Through the labor, they shared laughter and kindness, the weight of uncertainty drawing them closer. "Just remember, stay alert," she reminded Tom sharply during a training session, her intense gaze piercing through him like a shaft of sunlight. "Your life depends on it. Trust yourself and trust me." Yet nothing could prepare them for the moment when the Marauders struck. Brooding shadows descended as their ships darkened the sky, blaring alarms vibrating throughout the land, awakening dread lingering in their hearts like a deep and foreboding echo. The battlefield erupted into chaos, debris scattering everywhere as blaster fire ricocheted, mingling with anguished cries that pierced through the air, a harrowing symphony of damage. "Stick close," Sandra shouted over the din, her commanding presence unwavering amidst the turmoil. She wielded her weapon with expertise, demonstrating years of honed skills and urgency in each movement. "I'm right behind you," Tom affirmed, adrenaline surging through him like electricity. He fought alongside her, their movements synchronized, a connection forged in chaos, seamlessly slipping into a practiced dance, despite the brutal environment surrounding them. As the fray raged on, a cacophony of screams and clashes, Tom found himself standing face to face with an attacker. Time slowed alarmingly as he instinctively lunged, adrenaline blurring the lines between right and wrong. He focused his mind in a way he never knew he could, determined to protect the life growing in front of him. In a split-second moment, he spotted a threat barreling toward Sandra, an enemy intent on harming her with vicious determination. "Sandra, look out!" he yelled, desperation surging through his veins as he lunged, pushing her aside just in time. The impact knocked them both to the ground, pain and adrenaline coursing through his system as everything fell into a dizzying swirl of confusion. "No!" Sandra gasped, rushing to him, her panicked voice circling around him as she assessed his injury, heart racing. "Are you okay?" Her expression morphed into one of denial and fierce fury, an overwhelming blend of anger at herself and fear for his safety. "I took the hit because you needed to be safe," he reassured her, as she pressed her palm against his wound, fingers trembling slightly as concern shadowed her features, like a cloud blocking the sun. "It's fine, I can handle it." His voice wavered but remained determined. "But you shouldn't have." Her voice cracked under the weight of her emotions, fear evident in her gaze. Your life matters to me more than anything." As the dust settled from the upheaval, Sandra's heart constricted painfully. She knelt beside Tom, her fingers working feverishly to assess his injury. "You need medical attention. Please, don't move, stay still," she urged, feeling the heat of panic rise as she witnessed blood seep from the deep gash. "No," Tom protested, determination blazing in his eyes. "I won't retreat. I came here for you, and I'll protect you." His gaze held clarity and intensity, desire intertwining with an unyielding need for connection, the very core of his being trembling with yearning. Sandra's heart swelled in response, warmth surrounding her as doubt ebbed away, but it was quickly replaced by the fear of losing him. "But you belong to Earth." The statement was filled with heartache, the cruel reality of their divergent worlds crashing down like wave after wave, threatening to engulf and drown them in despair. "Earth? I don't even recognize my life there anymore," he confessed, uncertainty flickering in his eyes like a candle faltering in the wind. "After everything we've experienced together, I don't want to leave you." The weight of the unspoken truth nestled between them, tension rippling through the air as they processed the implications of his words. Suddenly, an all-too-familiar signal resonated through his communicator, a beacon from Earth, beckoning him home with cruel insistence. It resonated through his bones, haunting yet grounding, bittersweet like the taste of unfulfilled longing, juxtaposed with the thought of leaving Sandra, which filled him with a sense of suffocating dread. In that charged moment, they needed to talk, honestly and openly. "Sandra, we can't ignore this," he said softly, the very air between them crackling with intensity. "I need to make a choice. Will you fight for this connection with me?" Tension reverberated in the silence, a powerful presence as her unwavering gaze held him tightly in place. "You're considering leaving, aren't you?" Her voice dipped, nearly breaking, a shield of hurt flashing across her features as vulnerability crept into her rosy cheeks. Tom's heart ached alarmingly. "No, I want to stay. You've opened a new existence for me, a life rich with meaning and connection. I can't bear the thought of leaving you." "My heart," he faltered, emotions bubbling to the surface, threatening to spill over. "It belongs with you, and I want to build a future here with you." Sandra's expression softened. Something flickered behind her fierce facade, a glimmer of hope spreading through her heart like wildfire. "But what about your people, your responsibilities?" "There's nothing worth having if I leave you behind," he declared, conviction grounding every word as passion ignited their shared air. Their hearts beat in tandem, an understanding blossoming amidst uncertainty like a flower unfurling in sunlight. As night descended, their lives hung perilously in the balance, a brewing storm igniting within the cosmos above. Sandra bit her lip, injuring herself with doubt as vulnerability spilled from her eyes. "If you stay, you endanger my people." "Sandra," he reached for her hand, their fingers entwined, a lifeline amidst uncertainty. "We're stronger together. I believe in this bond, and I believe in us." Their lips met again, this time filled with renewed resolve and urgency. The universe around them faded momentarily, a timeless embrace unraveling as their hearts soared, exploring new horizons of intimate connection, binding their souls together, their desires blooming like flowers in spring. In the wake of the climactic battle, echoes of chaos began to fade, but resilience blossomed within Sandra's homeland, illuminating the steps toward recovery and renewal. Survivors gathered around her and Tom, sharing stories of their bravery while newfound bonds were formed in unity. The air buzzed with a sense of hope that surged amidst the remnants of despair, lifting the spirits of all who sought solace. Sandra stood tall at the forefront, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. Today, we do not only stand to honor the lives we have saved, we solidify a bond that has been forged through trials and sacrifices, she proclaimed, rallying her people behind her rousing speech that inspired strength within their hearts. Tom felt a swelling sense of belonging entwined with purpose, a warm sensation radiating from Sandra and her people. He stepped forward as applause rippled throughout the crowd, bright and vibrant, like fireworks lighting up a night sky. "Each of you has shown remarkable bravery," he began, his voice steady and filled with emotion. "You have opened your arms to me, shared your dreams, and today I found a love beyond anything I ever imagined possible." The crowd erupted into cheers, voices rising in harmonious celebration as Sandra's eyes sparkled with admiration and pride. "Together, we will face whatever the universe throws at us. In solidarity, we shall thrive and survive." After their victory celebration, Sandra led Tom into a private clearing surrounded by radiant bioluminescent plants that glowed softly, each pulsating gently with their shared heartbeat. "You chose to stay, and in doing so you chose me. No matter what lies ahead, I am deeply grateful for our connection," she whispered, her voice thick with underlying emotion, that deep-rooted commitment glowing like fireflies in the night. "I wouldn't have it any other way," he admitted, leaning in closer, capturing her gaze in a searing lock that brought their hearts to life. The air between them crackled with unspoken promises as they stood beneath the expansive glow of the celestial bodies above. Sandra stepped forward, brushing her fingers against his cheek, igniting sparks of desire that coursed through their bodies and lit their spirits aflame. "Whatever challenges life throws at us, we will face them united, together," she murmured, an infinitesimal promise hanging in the air between them. With that, they shared a potent kiss that spoke not just of the love they endured, but also of the adventures that still awaited them, the trials, the battles, and the unwavering camaraderie that transformed into something exquisite and everlasting. Time ceased to matter as they lost themselves in one another, everything outside their embrace dimming into darkness, weaving into forgotten memories. In that beautiful moment, as they stood resolute against the expansive universe, they understood that life could bring uncertainty, yet their hearts had intertwined, eternally binding them together. They had forged a bond that not even the stars themselves could tear apart, a connection unwavering in its brilliance. Underneath the boundless cosmos, now knit tighter in a tapestry of love and adventure, they were prepared to embrace whatever surprises awaited them next. An epic journey that would echo through time as their stories entwined, illuminating the path ahead they would walk together side by side.